guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here today for another one of our mass making. This is a part 2. I've never done a mass making in 2 stages before, but this week's dragged on for so long I've had to do it in a part 2. So if you didn't catch the part 1, you may want to go and check that one out first. But all that we did basically was in our part 1, we just collaged a few book pages. So only managed 3. I'm quite a slow collager. Yeah, I've seen other people do collaging super quickly. I am not very quick. So yeah, it's taken me a little bit longer than, you know, it may take other people. But I'm super happy with the pieces that I've done. And, you know, it's not a race after all, is it? So I've got those pieces here. And we're going to make some of those gorgeous little envelope flip pockets that I did recently in a sort of tutorial. And I've brought along some bits and pieces to decorate these up with. Now, I've brought along these glue book favourites. These are new in my shop. And I've done them because I've got something coming up with another glue book, you know, coming up soon on my channel. And this is Glue Book Favourites 5, I think is the name of this. I have also introduced Glue Book Favourites 4, which is the main one that I'm going to be playing with when we do the project in a couple of weeks. But what you get is this lovely set here of these gorgeous images, and I think I'm right in saying that there's 5 pages of these beautiful little images here. Well, I say little, they're pretty big because obviously I've done these for a glue book. Now they are, as I say, pretty big. You also do get a collage page, which is super fun, which unfortunately I don't seem to have with me. But the collage page is all of these elements collaged up, and it's so fun and vibrant. So yeah, if you have a look obviously on my shop, you'll be able to see the collage page there. But if I just show you, so these are some of my, or these are all in fact of my collage book, or my glue book favourite set 5. That's them cut out. So you've got a whole big bunch of different elements there to use in your journals and things and your glue books. And then this, I just want to show you, this is printing them 2 to a page. So obviously they're shrunk down to sort of 50% size basically. So I obviously made them or created them in big size because, you know, I wanted them really nice and big for my glue books. But obviously if you wanted to make them smaller, then you can just shrink them down 2 to a page and, you know, print them that way. So they are in my shop also, but I just thought color wise these may be really wonderful elements to use on some of these boards. I don't know whether they will, but you know, we'll give them a try. So I thought that I would just introduce you to those little bits of fun there that I've got into my shop as well. Right, so first things first, what we've got to do is obviously now trim around these, and as soon as we do that, this will take on a much more, you know, cohesive look really, rather than looking like a scrappy piece of junk, you know, just random scraps of paper from my table. It will hopefully now begin to take shape and look a little bit more like, you know, a tidy piece that you could actually do something with in your journal. So just trim all around like that, and then just down this edge as well. Okay, so let me just get rid of these scraps now. Again, obviously I didn't do this kind of off camera because I like people to see all the stages, because I know that, you know, I really appreciate seeing everything that someone does, rather than, you know, them going off and then I might miss something that I would have found quite useful to see. So I mean, as you can see, it straight away looks completely different to when it's got all the jaggedy edges, and straight away it becomes a more, you know, usable piece. So I just do that with all of them. So we just go down this one now, trim that up like that. Okie dokie. Like that. And across the bottom, and then we'll just do the final one as well, and that will be our 3. I mean, they're like a collage masterboard, they're just obviously small because they're on book page. Now I don't know what size book pages these are, but they're not really tiny, they're quite a good size book page. So I mean, I don't really measure things, as you know, but if you wanted an idea of the size, because that's going to make a difference, I guess, isn't it? So, I mean, these are like 6 inches, just under 6 inches, about 5 3/4 inches by, yeah, about 8 3/4. So I will probably need to take this down slightly more on the width so that it definitely comfortably fits onto a page. But, you know, so they're pretty good size book pages. They're not kind of really minuscule or anything. So, again, just take down the final one. Like that. I've made a hideous job of cutting that already. I can see it's very, very wonky. Okie dokie. There we go. There we go. Right. So I love, love, love the colours of all of these. They just look glorious, don't they? Really, really, really nice. So yeah, really pleased how they've all come out. They're all very autumnal actually, and very vibrant. Really, really pretty. Right, so then what we're going to do is obviously make our little envelope flaps. Now, of course, you can use anything at all to make your envelope flaps. You could even use proper envelope flaps, I guess. I'm going to just use some coffee dyed paper. So let me just grab some in. Right, so I've got some coffee dyed paper, and what I also brought along was this blue. So this is my food coloured paper, because I just thought that might look really good on here with the butterflies. It might look good, it might look rubbish, we'll see. But yeah, I definitely thought we'll probably give that a try, hopefully. So let me move that to one side. So all I'm going to do is cut my pieces down. Now, as I say, these are quite big book pages. So, you know, I might not need these cut directly in half, because they may turn out then quite a large pocket. So this one here, I'm going to just cut it down sort of about here. Yeah, about here, like that. Okay, and then I can just trim that up at the edges. Okay, I might just trim it down here slightly, just to make sure it's going to actually be able to fit onto a journal page. And then I'll just go across the top a bit more. Okay, right, so loving how that looks. So all I'm going to do is obviously attach my envelope flap. So if I show you what we're going to do, and obviously, you know, if you saw my tutorial, you kind of know where we're heading with this anyway. I just suddenly spotted this that was laying around on my desk, and I thought, oh, that's another blue piece. So yeah, I forgot that I had the blue paper. So let's bring in the blue paper now. And I'm just going to kind of fold this roughly like there, so to know, you know, just roughly kind of where to trim that down. And I'm just going to cut it off into a smaller piece, just so it's a bit more manageable to work with. Okay, chop that down like that. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is fold it over here where it would be the flap, like that. And then I can gauge how much I want to cut that down, because obviously at the moment that would be a huge flap. So I probably want it, you know, much, much smaller than that. So all I'll do is now fold it over so that I, you know roughly where the middle is. I'm not folding it as in pressing it, but just holding it together. And then I'm just going to cut, you know, something resembling an envelope flap. Okay, let's just try that there. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? And then we could obviously add a few more blue touches to bring that in. Now, although I said I wasn't going to show you those other glue book favourites, the reason why I may have to is because these little gorgeous butterflies are also featured in this Blue Book Favourites set. So this is set 4 and it's got those gorgeous blue butterflies in it. And it's actually got them, I think, I'm right in saying, in 2 shades. So a slightly brighter and a slightly duller. And now I've picked up the slightly brighter and now I'm not going to be able to find a duller one, which that's annoying. No, I can, but only in big size. So I have also printed some of these in smaller size, but whether I've got... No, that's another bright one. Come on, come on. Oh, isn't it annoying? You've never got quite the right bit, have you? No matter how much stuff you have, it's just never quite the right thing. Well, that's annoying. So, yeah. I mean, obviously this one is huge, but, I mean, having said that, we could kind of have that like that, holding that flat closed. I know that is like very, whoa there. Just going to turn this over the other way because I think it's slightly duller on this side, which maybe would look a little bit better. Do we think my envelope needs to be slightly more pointy? Maybe. Let's try and make that a little bit more pointed. Oh, I think that's a bit better. It was a bit rounded before and that was just then, you know, not quite working, I think. So that's better, isn't it? Being slightly more, you know, envelope shaped, I guess. So I'm going to rough this up at the edges. So sorry, Sheree. I always say sorry to Sheree because I know that she doesn't like this. So yeah, I'm so sorry. I do like the effect of the roughed edges. So yeah, I think they just add a little something, don't they? Now, I bought some black soot the other day, which I've been experimenting with. So now I've got that on my blending tool. So let me just swap that over before I put black soot then all over my piece, because that black soot is, yeah, tricky to work with. I think it takes a little bit of practice to use that. I know that sounds really weird, but because it's quite a sort of unforgiving ink, you know, because obviously it's black, so it's not going to, you're not going to get away with it if it's a bit overloaded. It's, you know, going to stand out like a sore thumb. And then I'm just going to ink around here as well. Okay, so that's nice, isn't it? So I'm going to just glue this down before I can muck about anymore, chopping and changing my mind with this piece. Okay. Now, I did unclog my glue before coming back to do this video. I cleaned out my glue end nozzle. Hopefully I'm not going to have so many glue issues in this video, but hey, who knows? Doesn't always pan out quite like that, does it? You know, you expect it to be fine and then still sometimes you get the problems. So I'm just trying this one out just because this happened to be laying at the side of the desk and I thought, well, actually colour-wise this might be quite good to pop on here as well. Oh, I wish I had that butterfly in smaller size. It's very annoying because I obviously have printed these out in smaller size, but I've obviously used all of those smaller butterflies in that shade of blue. So yeah, and so sorry about all this mess at the side, but it's because I'm in the middle of filming that particular set of videos. So yeah, they'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm just double checking in case I've got one of those. No, I can't see one. Oh, that is annoying, isn't it? unless I go for the dark one. Oh, I might not go for that butterfly tool. That's just annoying. Right, let's see what else I have here. So let's have a look through my smaller glue book favourites and see whether I've got one that might just be nice on here. That one's quite sweet. Ah, this one is very sweet. Oh, I can't decide. This is so annoying. Unless I have a label. Might just have that label on there, to be honest. So let me just ink this one up. Okie dokie. And I also have some of this gorgeous lace that I also food coloured. And I just wondered whether I might be able to have some of that somewhere. Like maybe we could just maybe we could just kind of staple this or something to the side. So let's just cut this down. Just along those edge parts, because I'm not so keen on that, you know, hard edge that seems to have. So we just get rid of those bits. There we go. Now I'm thinking, is that too much blue? Too much, maybe. Perhaps it's better up there. Oh, let me have a look down on it. I just think you do often get quite a different you know, effect from looking down, don't you? Now I'm going to pull in some of my postage stamps. So I do have those colour coordinated, so, or you know, colour sorted. So I'll see if I've got any that would go with this. Maybe that one. Oh, that's not bad, is it? So I actually might have that on here, on the label part. So again, let me just ink that up. Well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I think it looks nice either place, so I think I'll have it here. Okay, and then I'm just going to stamp that with my postmark stamp. And obviously my favourite stamps are all here beside me. So she says, and now I can't see it. Oh, perhaps I've now put the postmark stamp into my drawer. I mean, that would never surprise me because, to be honest, that's just the type of thing that I do. So obviously used it and just popped it back into my drawer by mistake. Oh, well, that's weird because I can't see it in there either. No, can't see it in there. Trying to think, when would I have used it last? Oh, come on, come on. And I was just about to say, when I then reached for my postmark stamp, I was just about to say, oh, there it is. It is in the box. How much I'm enjoying having my pieces right next to me. And then no sooner do I go to say it, than obviously I then can't find it. But yeah, I am really enjoying having them beside me. It's proving to be very handy. Oops, I've now stamped the stamp the wrong way. Okay. Put that out the way. So I'm just going to have that on there like a pocket. So I'll just pop that down. Yeah, I think I did say in the Tidy Friday, but I have seen somebody else have their stamps like that, you know, their favourites that they go to a lot. And I think it's quite a good idea. I mean, yeah, I understand what some of you were saying in the comments about will it just drive me potty when then I'm having to rummage through the box. But do you know what? I quite like that sort of crafting. I mean, it's a little bit how I craft on here, isn't it? That I have all my rubbish all over the desk, because sometimes I think then you come across things that you wouldn't necessarily have used had it all been super organised, you know, and you can use these other things then, which then is, you know, kind of fun, isn't it? And it just makes you come out of your normal crafting zone, you know, and you can then use some other things. Right, I'm going to staple this down here, so let me get my stapler. Oops. So I'm just going to kind of staple it on in a bit of a ruffly way, hopefully. Oh, come on. Oh, what's happening now with my stapler? Okay, let's try that again. Right. Yeah, I quite like the eclectic nature, you know, kind of then rummaging through that box. I may just come across stamps that I wouldn't in a million years have thought of using on a project, you know, and that's where I think sometimes you can be a bit more adventurous. Whereas if they're really organised, then I have to actually preempt myself as to what stamp I'm looking for. Which then, for me, I think then, A, you know, I'm having to then be thinking ahead, and B, I'm not going to then come up with anything surprising, because it would just be the stamp that I was looking for, predictably. So, yeah, I think for me, I quite like the never know what you're going to find sort of stamping. Oh, I can't make this come together. I'm kind of regretting having the blue envelope flap, I think, but never mind. We'll just stick with it now, because obviously we've gone with it now. So let's just stay with that. So I might just do a bit of stamping on there. So again, just use this stamp. Oh no, dipped it in the wrong ink instead of my stays on. Okay. There we go. So we'll just have that over there. Wonder if we could have anything else on there. This one with the little postcard. Pop that down there. Just kind of brings a little bit more interest onto the flap, doesn't it? So yeah, and then what do I want to have on the actual flap end itself? So I had this one saying Happy Days. Don't know whether I definitely wanted that. Aha, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that is cute. I'm just going to check, because I have got some of those other flowers which actually are the same as these flowers. I think somewhere. Let's just see whether I've got one of those. But that might look too matchy-matchy, you know. Who knows? Maybe I'm better off actually mixing it up and not being so matchy-matchy. No, not that one. Right, so this is a little flower from the Glue Book Favourites set 5. So just ink that up. Oh, that's so cute. Right, let's just put that down on there. Oops, which way up does that need to go? Couldn't quite tell for a minute. Okay. Yay, got there eventually. Really, really, really cute. So that's the first one. My gosh, that took us a long time, didn't it? Okay, right, let's move on to the next one. So let's do one of these ones, the more orangey looking ones this time. So again, I'm going to cut it up here, I think. I've mixed all of those glue book pieces up now. Let me trim that down. Oops. And again, I'm just going to trim it down on the sides, because, you know, this is quite a wide book page. I want to make sure that it's going to fit widthways on my journal page. Now, I'm not sure whether I want to ink this, because, to be honest, I'm quite liking that white of those doily pieces. think it looks quite sort of refreshing. Or perhaps I could just try and ink it a bit around the sides. I don't know why. I seems to have switched from my blending brushes back to my blending tool lately. Couldn't really tell you why. But I think they're both really nice to use. I haven't decided which I actually prefer, to be honest, because I know that some of you have asked me what did I think to them. Yeah, hard to say. I quite like them both for different reasons, really, but definitely if you're going to do that inking, you know, where you just want to ink around the edges, the blending tool is definitely best. I can't seem to do it at all using the brush. So I guess that's something to bear in mind. If you like that kind of blending rather than an all over blend, then you're probably better off with the tool rather than the brush. So on this, I've actually got these little sheep. So these again are in my glue book favourites. And I just thought, oh, doesn't that look so super cute on there? And weirdly, we could just use him like a little belly band. So we could just pop then something, it would have to be something skinny. I mean, that's too fat actually, but you know, like that. I mean, we could use him as a pocket. He would need to be lower, which then I don't like it because he's sort of got a flower hanging out above him. So, but yeah, isn't he cute? So, see what I mean? Bit impossible to just ink around the edges with these. So yeah, not quite right with those. Let's have a look. Oops. Okay, we haven't made our envelope flap, so let's quickly do that. So again, I'm just folding that down and then I'm just going to cut that out. Just so we've got a sort of starting place. So just trim that down. Okay. And then I'm going to now fold this over for the, you know, where it's going to glue on, obviously, to the top part. So like that, and like that one. Okay. So let me know below what you thought to this this week's mass making. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to make a habit of, you know, these mass making sessions where they drag on over 2 parts. But let me know what you thought, whether you thought it was just absolutely terrible or whether you thought it was okay. Because it's always really good to have feedback and know what types of things that people do like. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that, please. Okay. So that would be our envelope flap. Now I wonder whether that needs to come up slightly more as well. Maybe just a little bit. Just because it's nicer to have more of the decorative piece showing, I guess, isn't it? So like that. Whoops. Need to just trim that down, otherwise it looks a bit of a weird shape. Kind of like the top of a heart, I suppose. Oh, I'm now mucking this up completely. Okay, right. Get rid of those pieces of paper. So I'm just going to glue the flap on, otherwise I'll actually forget even what we're doing here. So we'll just glue that down. Okay. I do love these little false envelopes. I think they're just really, really sweet. Isn't that just such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece? I love the colours. I mean, I'm not really an orange girl, I have to say, but this looks really, really pretty with the orange, to be honest. And we're going to have our little sheep in there. Don't know why I've got that book page under there, actually, but just going to put our little sheep down there. And I'm going to just glue him sort of on either end so that we've got him, you know, hanging out a little bit. And then I've got some flowers and things that are also in this glue book favourite kit. So we could kind of just decorate it up a little bit with some flowers, or maybe on the envelope. I'm just wondering, do we want to have a postage stamp? I like having the postage stamps on these because they're sort of like a faux envelope, which I know that's weird because presumably it would be on that side, wouldn't it? But obviously, as we're going to have these stuck down as a pocket, oh gosh, I can't see what way up that needs to go. Hopefully that way. Hopefully. So we'll just have that one there. Like that. Okay. Whoa. Ooh. And then I'm just going to pop our little sheep down. So I'm going to just glue him like to the legs, if you see what I mean. Like that. And then same here. So he could technically be like a belly band. Whether or not he, you know, I could find anything small enough. I mean, I'm sure I could, to be honest, if I look hard enough. But, you know, then you've got the option, haven't you, of using him as a belly band. Whereas if I just glued him on completely, the option's not there then. So it's nice to have options. Okay, so we just glue him down like that. And then on here, again, I mean, I just really like the stamping on the flap, really. I don't think it really kind of needs too much else, you know, because obviously you've got a lot of stuff down here. So I'm going to put the postmark over the stamp. Should have done that before the sheep went down, really. Otherwise I get a postmark on the sheep's bottom look a bit. I don't think that's his bottom, to be honest. I'm not sure what goes on with my biology if I thought that was his bottom, but you know what I mean, that back half of him. And again, just going to use this, maybe like this side now. Okay. Just got that there, and then we could have maybe just having a bit of a rummage through my, you know, my favourite stamps box now. It is handy having these here, I must say. So I've got another little postmark type stamp, which we could have like here. That's nice, isn't it? Might just ink this up a little bit around the flap. So it's got a bit of contrast there. And then I think what I'm going to do, let's see how one of those page protectors would look on that flower. Might look rubbish, but it might look okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So let me just, oops. I always glue these because I think they're not going to glue down properly. But look at that, it's proper stuck on there. So perhaps I don't need to keep on adding the glue every time after all. Perhaps that should be a lesson for me, that they do not need the extra glue. So I'm going to then stick this flower here. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to get my crocodile and then punch in the middle there. Okay, and then going to get an eyelet. So my eyelets are now in my little set of drawers, which are behind me. They're not going to stay there because, again, lots of you made the valid point of, you know, I've wasted a whole big drawer here on those eyelets. So they're not going to stay here, but they're still in here for the moment. So just decide which colour eyelet I want. Oh, I've got a brown one. That might be quite good. Or actually, I have got some orange ones. Oh, the orange ones are all small ones, which I hadn't noticed. Hadn't noticed that. So yeah, I'll go back to the brown, I think. But yes, lots of valid points there about them taking up a whole drawer. So they are going to get moved, but at the moment they're still in there. So here we go. And then just squash that down. Oops. I'm so rubbish with these eyelets. I've now over squashed it and it's looking really strange, but hopefully you won't really notice that, to be honest, too much. So got that there. And then just hanging from the flower, I'm going to just get a bulb pin and trying to decide what I would like hanging from there. So, oh, come on. There's my little bulb pin, and what should we have hanging from there? I mean, again, I could have one of these little pieces from here. Could have that Happy Days, or might still be too big, to be honest, that one. Got a little flower. Do I want that? I don't know. I wonder if we need another flower on that envelope at all. Oh, I don't know. I haven't got any lace on this. That's another thing that's missing from there, isn't it? Wow, how could I have forgotten the lace? Might have some lace up there. So I'm just going to ink that a little bit along there. Feel like I need something sort of colourful hanging from there. Because I've got obviously that really nice colourful flower down here, I feel like I could do with something sort of colourful hanging from there. I have got some little pears here from my other glue book kit, which they look kind of cute, don't they? I mean, that's weird, I know, but they do look sort of sweet. So I wonder if we could punch a hole, just one of those tiny holes. Oh gosh, I've gone very super close to the edge of that pear, I must say. Let me put an eyelet in that, which will help to protect it, because I've now put it so close to the edge. Oh, what colour little tiny eyelets have I got? I've got a green one, which might be best as that little pear is green. So, oops, oh my gosh, this is super fiddly. These tiny eyelets, my gosh, they are so fiddly. Right, probably now I've probably got the wrong size thingy sticking up. Oh my gosh, come on. No, now I've poked the eyelet out again. Oh, this is very, very fiddly. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the tiny eyelets, they are not really the thing for me. I find them very tricky. Oh my gosh, look at what I've done. I find the big eyelets quite tricky, but the small ones, wow, they are like a whole nother thing altogether. Right, I'm just going to ink the underneath of that pear, because of course it's going to be hanging from here, so you will see the underneath. And actually I'm just going to ink the underneath of that flower too. Okay. Oh, come on. Let me just poke that there. Oh my gosh, this is so fiddly. There we go. Whee! So that one's super cute, isn't it? Now, do I want the lace on there? Or do we think it's kind of cute without the lace, to be honest? I don't mind it without the lace, funnily enough, but it's not very me without the lace, but hey, if it doesn't need it, it doesn't need it. I did also bring in this coffee dyed lace, which I thought might be better. So let me just cut that down. Okay, this lace has gone very shriveled and weird looking. So yeah, it's not all that easy to work with now. It's a little bit strange, but you know, strange, but still usable. Oh my gosh, where's my pears gone? Oh, down there. Yeah, this lace is better, much better than that other one for some reason. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one to glue on, I think. So yeah, let's just try and glue this on. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see how that does. like that. Okay, that's quite cute, isn't it? And then could still have some bling on there, maybe. I don't know whether the bling might be a bit strange with the pears and stuff and the sheep. It might be like, you know, not in the same theme. Oh, it still does look okay. Well, perhaps not. Perhaps we should go with it without the bling. Right, I'm struggling. My Fabri-Tac is in my bag. So I was just trying to resist having to get that out, but I might have to in a minute, so we'll see. Anyway, so that's another one. So super, super cute. So those are the two that we have done so far. So let's now pull in this one, because obviously we'd done the 3 masterboards yesterday. Well, today for me, yesterday for you guys. So I'm just going to, again, chop this down here, like that. Oh, I've made that super skinny for some reason. Right. Okay. So just chop that down a little bit more. Hopefully that balances it out a bit more and makes it look a little bit less skinny. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, it just went super skinny. And again, I'm just pulling in some of my glue book favourites. Again, got this gorgeous cottage, which just, this looks so cute. When I first was making these, I just kind of tried them out on a couple of tags, and those cottages are just super, super cute, I have to say. There's also a chair, which I really like. These are obviously all the ones that I had shrunk down, you know, printed to a page. So I'm just going to pull some in from the full size because they may be better. Got the Big Ben. Got a big chair. And I've got the big cottage. Right. So what I'm trying to do now is really cover up this flower, because I'm struggling to get the flower to kind of look good with any of the pieces. It's not kind of working really for me, having that flower. So yeah, let's just have a look. Or we could just have like a label, I guess. You know, that would be an alternative. I have also got these images of the gate, which are quite nice. Oh, and there's also a doggy. Isn't he so cute? He's very sweet, isn't he? No, I don't like him on there either. Let me just have a look through. Just seeing, because I've got bigger ones of the gate, and I've also got the gate in sort of dulled down and bright, because I thought it's always nice to have options, isn't it? Oh, that's now taking over the whole piece, which is a shame, because colour-wise that's just gorgeous on there, isn't it? Could have that as an opening flap, but obviously I'm trying to stick with what we set out to make in this mass making, which of course was the envelope flaps, wasn't it? So I mustn't now go off at a tangent. I must try and stay focused on what we were actually making in the first place. Right, let me get in my ephemera box and see what labels and things that I have, because that might be just better. Okay. So bringing this in, what have we got? So I'm thinking, well, I was thinking something green, but actually I might backtrack from that. Not that, it needs to be bigger. Now this is where I'm going to have a whole saga of either too big or too small. Everything's going to be too big or too small, isn't it? You can just see it happening now. That's not too bad. Again, I'm not so keen on the flowers that are overhanging at the top. So yeah, I'd probably prefer to have it completely covered. I've got one of my vintage adverts. I mean, that's a bit weird, because we would have to have that sideways on with the envelope flap, which again, obviously not quite right. I'll just leave that there while I'm just debating. just debating whether to go for that or not. We've got this little label. Oh, I'm struggling a lot here. I've got some of the Tim Holtz people. Nope, they're monstrous on there. I seem to just have a problem of either things being massive or not anywhere near big enough. Now, are these those same ladies but in smaller size? Yeah, they are, I think. We could have them there. Let me just see whether I've got something printed like in small size that they could be sat on. I've got like a couple of letters and things like that here, so we could have them kind of like leaning against that. Maybe that's quite nice. What do you think? Can't quite decide. That flower for me is looking quite cluttery now. Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, that is a bit better. So, I mean, again, you know, if you're not liking things, you can always work around them and cover them up, I guess, really is the thing here, isn't it? You know, if you're not working with something or something's not working for you, you can always maybe cover it up. And again, likewise, you know, I might be able to just cover it up with this here, because obviously once these are down, so if we had them like that, oops, and then tuck that flower in, oh gosh, come on, like that. Okay, so I mean, that's another sort of option, is to just think, if you're not quite happy with something and it's not quite panning out, then, you know, just cover it up, because it will then, you know, come to the stage where you find something that you are happy to use. So I'm just going to cover this down, or cover this up. Like that. Okay. And then need to be a bit careful how I put this stuff, because I need to bear in mind that these ladies, you know, where they're going to fit, because obviously I need that envelope flap on the top. So if I have everything kind of held down roughly in place. Oh, my glue's mucking me about again, and I literally cleaned the nozzle. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. I'm just going to fit that. Probably goes. You know, I'm not quite sure which way up that does go. Strangely. Yeah. Not quite sure, but anyway, put it like that now. And then we're going to have our little letter that they're going to just be sat on. Okay. Okie dokie, going to pop that down there, like that. Okay, and then we're going to have them sort of leaning against there. Lucky I didn't do this all in one video, isn't it? My gosh, we would have been here literally all day. Oops, these have got armholes, which I hadn't noticed, so let's get that one out. I think she's got one. Are there any others? Are there any other armholes need poking out? No, I don't think so. Okay, right. like that. Okay. Yeah, we would have been here all day and just, you know, hogging everybody's time for the entire day. So, yeah, lucky that we decided to do it in two. Okay, so there's our ladies sat down there. Okie dokie, and then I'm going to obviously just rough this up a little bit around the edges. I think this probably needs trimming in a little bit more, to be honest, so I'm going to bring it in just a fraction more. I think it would be a bit wide on the page otherwise. So just, oops, roughed up those ladies' feet now. Oops. It's like I was tickling their feet. Oh dear. Okay, right. Let me just check that their feet are sort of glued down, because I don't think I really put any glue on their feet, to be honest. There we go, like that. And then I'm just going to ink around that just a little bit again. You know, hopefully not going too mad on there. Okay. Oh, they are just so lovely, aren't they? Haven't got a postage stamp on this one. Don't think we need one. Don't think I could fit one on there anyway. So again, just going to make the envelope flap. Now, I wonder whether I could get it out of there or whether that's going to be just too small. Well, it might be okay actually. So I'm just going to cut that down. About here. Because obviously I did this one quite narrow, so, you know, we might just have a narrower flap on here. And obviously when I did the tutorial, we were making little pockets on these, which we have done on the other two, but this one, you know, obviously these ladies are stuck down, so they're not a pocket at all. Okay, so they're going to be like that. Now, bring this in. Just wondering whether we might have to make this, well, let's see how we get on. Well, we might get on okay actually. Oh my gosh, look what I did to that end of that envelope. That looks crazy, crazy weird. Trim it down either end because I think it was perhaps a bit long actually. Okay, let's get rid of those. Come on. Okay, I just need to take these in slightly more, so I'm just going to put those together again. Actually, we'll go around again. That. Okay, and we'll just then stick these on, or stick this on. Yay, there we go. So I'm just going to pop that on there like that. Okay. Oh, I must say the time is flying by. Obviously I'm filming this on Monday, so I'm filming it the same day that I did the mass making, i.e. making the collage boards themselves. And it's the first day, you know, that my daughter's been back to school, and I was just enjoying myself so much. And I felt like I had hours and hours, but now the time's kind of flying by, so yeah. She'll be home before I know it. And not that I'm disappointed for her coming home, but it's just always shocking how quickly the time does go. You know, when you're making the most of it and doing lots of things, it kind of just whizzes by, literally whizzes by. Right, could just have a little bit of lace, I think, on here. So I think maybe this kind of delicate lace might be nice on this one. So we just put that up there. Might have a little flower or something. Might have to do another little bit of stamping on here because I just think the stamping adds a little bit something. Might do it actually even in the distress ink. I don't very often stamp with the distress ink, but I just felt it needed something a little bit paler. I didn't really want it looking, you know, really, really decorated in the black. So I thought perhaps the paler would be a little bit better. Just having a look to see what else I've got. I've got this one as well. So let's just do that one. Yeah, definitely this is a way to, you know, use my stamps more, because if I have to dig them all out, I don't necessarily then tend to use them, you know, whereas having them in that box. And actually a few ladies had this fantastic idea about them rotating them, you know, so that you then eventually use like more of them, if you see what I mean. So that's also a really great idea. Oh, I might have to staple that down there like we did the blue one. So yeah, let's just staple that on. One. Okay. Let's come on. Oops, sorry about that. Dropping the stapler. There we go. Right, now I need to just decide what to have on this envelope flap. So maybe that other flower might be too small. So this one would look quite nice, or do we think that doesn't really go? I don't mind it, weirdly enough. Oh, so I've also got some words and things that I could have. Or we could have the yellow one that keeps it really, you know, properly in keeping. It's not like not going at all, it's going perfectly. And then I've also got some little word sentiments. So the best things in life are free, I've got here. So perhaps we might like something like that on that flap. Oh, my tummy's rumbling now. So yeah, it's soon got to lunchtime, I must say. So my daughter will come home from school full of it, telling me what she's had for lunch and things today. That's always her favourite part of going to school, is what she's had for lunch. Well, which is great, isn't it? You know, that she loves the lunch so much, because, you know, loads of kids are very fussy, aren't they, about what they will and won't eat. And luckily, she just loves everything, to be honest. Oh, that maybe looks better. Yep. I was trying to do something kind of creative with the flower there, but, you know, and the word strip. But I think it looks better like this. So we'll put the flower down here. Okay, and then just going to have the word then kind of over there at the top. Yeah, over there. It's also quite nice there, to be honest, but I think I would struggle to have that not looking really lumpy. So, which again, you know, I quite like that look on other people's work, but no doubt on mine it would just look lumpy and weird rather than lumpy and artistic. So I'm not going to do that. Oops. Okay. Yay! Right, let's have a look then and see, sorry about that, jogging the table, see the three that we've done. So we have done these three. They all look really different, I think. You know, they've all come out quite nice and quite differently. And obviously we've got the rest of those collage boards that we can still do. But aren't they just so gorgeous? I mean, they're really pretty pieces, aren't they? And just actually look completely different, I think. For some reason, they're, you know, they just look to me really different to anything that I've made, certainly for a long while. I don't know whether ever, but that might be, you know, exaggerating, but I feel like they're very different for me. but really, really like them. Just wondering whether I want some bling on here. Again, I don't know as it needs some, but perhaps we will put some on because otherwise we've just had like a bling free zone. And that's just not on, is it? Because that would be two videos, this would be. Because obviously we were just making the collage before. We can't have 2 videos with bling free zone, can we? Oh gosh, this is going to be tricky. There we go. And just put that down there. Yay. Okay, yeah. So super cute pieces, aren't they? Really, really like them. So yeah, I will probably leave it there for today because I'm not quite sure how long this has gone on for now because I've obviously stopped and started it several times. So I think I'll probably leave it there for today. But I hope that you like the pieces that we've done. And yeah, hopefully you'll have fun doing some. I'm so sorry that our mass make actually dragged on for kind of 2 days. But I hope that you like the finished result. So thank you so much for joining me and hopefully see you again soon. Thanks then.